These are 5 sea slugs that I believe are masters of camouflage. Most people think that sea slugs are bright, colorful, and easy to spot, but actually there are some sea slugs that are super good in camouflaging and it's very hard for you to spot. Let's take a look. The first sea slug is this Joruna sp. They feed on sponge and they also live on the sponge and look exactly like the sponge. They have very similar color to the sponge and they just basically stay there the entire time. It's very hard for you to spot unless you can spot the tiny differences in the color between the nudibranch and the sponge, or if you can find the egg masses which may be nearby. The second sea slug is this Melibe sp. Melibe is a very cool sea slug that shapes like many things that it lives on. This particular Melibe shaped exactly like the senior soft coral that it lives on. They look exactly the same. If you look from the top view, it's almost identical. The only way you can spot it is by looking from the side view. From the side view, you can potentially see its mouth and its basically its head, so that can be a way to spot the differences, but they are super similar to the soft coral and it's probably one of the best well camouflaged nudibranch I've ever seen. Number 3 is a sap-sucking slug called Calyphylla sp. It feeds on the Bryopsis algae, and look at its body. It looks like a leaf with the same like vein and pattern just like a leaf, and it lives inside the Bryopsis algae that it feeds on. So usually when you swim past a bush of Bryopsis algae, these sea slugs can be living inside and you barely notice them. Super well camouflaged and super cool. Number 4 is this Phylodesmium bradmani. This nudibranch feeds on a senior soft coral, and look at it, it looks exactly like a senior soft coral. The serrata of this nudibranch looks exactly like a senior polyps, and it lives inside a senior soft coral. So you can barely tell them apart when they live inside, except that it has some minor color differences that you can potentially spot. Also, the senior soft coral tends to open and close its polyp, while this serrata of the nudibranch is always closed. Anywho, it's still one of the coolest, most well camouflaged nudibranch. Number 5 is Phaselia v nudibranch. This Phaselia feeds and lives on Pavona coral, and it is super well camouflaged by having its serrata lay flat on the coral and share the same color with the coral polyps. You can potentially find them by looking at the egg masses which they lay on the coral, and you can follow the egg masses until you find the body of the nudibranch. Fun fact, this nudibranch was first described from Thailand. So these are the 5 sea slugs that are the master of camouflage. How many have you seen? Are there any other sea slugs that I missed? Let me know in the comments.